All my batteries are frozen, cameras are shutting down.
Open air outdoors.
Overnight winter camping. I should have brought a sleigh. I decided to use a backpack, but now that I'm out here, I should have brought a sleigh. I got a ton of weight. I'm not going to trek too far, but I'm going to find a spot off this snowmobile trail, which is actually a summertime logging road. I'm going to find a spot. I'm going to tuck into the woods. I'm going to pitch a tent, and we're going to do a camp out, and then head out of here tomorrow. Join me. Let's go do this. Hey, you want to lay down, Lexy? Hey, you want to lay down? I can't even sit, the snow's too deep. So I'm just kneeling on my pad and my jacket. It's good enough for now. I got me some soup, some chicken noodle soup. It's very good. Once I get this soup into me, I'm gonna go in there a little bit deeper in and get set up, pack down the snow, figure out my location. And I'm looking around at, while I'm out here, rabbit season is on right now. And I was thinking of doing some rabbit hunting while I'm out here, might as well, right? But the reality is I'm not seeing any signs, and it doesn't surprise me because this kind of forest is not favorable for rabbits. Rabbits are everywhere, but they're not going to be plentiful in this kind of forest. They prefer mixed forest, a lot of brush, and the brush provides security from predators for them, as well as food. And a conifer forest like this just doesn't give them a whole lot of habitat that they prefer, or food. So I saw a few tracks, but as expected, is they're not in plentiful numbers here. So that little whip in the middle, better to push it down. At first I was going to crack a natural tendency, and I was like, oh, what am I doing? It's better to push them down. If you crack it and you put your tent through there, guess what? Now you got a pokey coming up through the bottom of your tent. Lay it down, snow on top, pack it, then it's not a problem. Now the snow is all, there's a little bit of a crust. You can hear it, and when I'm walking you can hear I'm busting through a bit of a crust. Underneath the crust, the snow is a little bit more granular. Now that I packed it down, I'll wait about half an hour, and that'll get a little bit stiffened up. It'll bind once it's open to the air, like the snow that's underneath the surface. And once it's exposed to the air, it'll harden up. So I'll wait about half an hour, probably finish my soup that I was having earlier, and then get set up. Hey Lexy? Hey Lexy. Well, while I'm waiting for that snow to harden up over at the tent site, I thought I'd go for a little walk down the trail. Let Lexy have a bit of a run. This is our first outing, our first actual outing since the loss of Misty. And we're both in need of a good outing. Get back in the bush and get back into the swing of things a little bit. Today's a good day. It's not overly cold. It's windy, but not overly cold. So we're both enjoying the time out here. Tent. Let's set up the tent. I have an old school sleeping bag down there, and I'm going to be using. I got my shotgun here. Like I said, if rabbit is still open right now, so I brought this along in case I see a rabbit. Let's get that tent set up and get happening here. Let me show you why I picked this tent here for today's outing. I have multiple tents, and I picked this one for a few different reasons. Let me show you why. So I picked this tent here primarily because of this sidewall. If you see the sidewall, it goes halfway up the tent. The mesh part doesn't go all the way to the bottom, and that just gives me a little bit more protection, wind and cold air protection, right? And you'll see like 4-season tents will be like that. They'll have a high side. This is not a 4-season tent whatsoever, but it should give me some good protection. Temperatures tonight are expected to dip to -10, so I have to bundle up, right? This is not hot tenting. So this is why I chose this tent. And also a lot of times you'll get like budget friendly tents, or tents that are more of a nicer price point. The way that they can reduce, the manufacturer can reduce the price of their tent is by doing this right here, having the wall go up high. Mesh is actually very expensive to manufacture, so if they can reduce the amount of mesh they use in their tent, they can reduce the price of the tent. If you want to see a first night review on this tent, click on the card at the end of the video. I'll take you straight to it. I've been cutting firewood. There's my pile right there. And I've been trying to pace myself because I've been sweating, and you sweat and you're working hard. I got a good pile. I didn't video any of it because it's kind of gets boring after a while, right? Watching a guy sawing and sawing. But yeah, nice cold drink of water. Amazing how, and even in cold weather, a cold drink of water feels good. So I'm debating on if I'm going to start my fire now. I think I'm going to start my fire now and make myself a hot drink. You know that? So I got some pretty big sticks, but I got my homemade chaga fire starter. Has got a fire going, and boil up some water, have something hot to drink, and kick back and relax a little bit, and then we'll continue on with building camp. Chaga burns really good. All right, let's see what we got here while the water is boiling up. Let's see what's going to be the beverage of choice. I know I got tea and coffee, but I'm thinking I'm going to go with a hot chocolate. There it is right there. Salted caramel. Hot chocolate. That's what I'm feeling right now. And then for supper later on, oh, I do have a Nescafe as well. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll have that after supper. But I got a few options anyways. You know, I'm just camped out off a snowmobile trail. From the time I parked my truck, hang on here, let's see. From the time I parked my truck till right now, I've been out here for 4 hours. And in 4 hours, I have not seen a single snowmobile. It's very strange because this is a logging road and it's well traveled by snowmobilers, and I'm really baffled that I just chose to come down this trail to do a camp out here, just a quick overnighter down and dirty, and I was anticipating having snowmobiles passing by, and I haven't seen a single one yet. Not complaining. The bottom of my pant legs, they're starting to get wet. I'm not cold by no means, but I noticed my pant legs getting wet, and I thought, you know, I better make a fire, try to dry off a little bit. I haven't treated these pants to make them waterproof. Oftentimes when I have certain types of gear, when I have anything that's cotton, like these pants, there's a lot of cotton in them, I'll spray them with Scotch Guard, and I haven't done that in a long time, so they're getting wet. I'd like to have them dried off before I go to bed tonight. I have lots of time, so I should be okay. Hi, Lexy. What are you doing, puppy? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you having a nap in there? Hey? Yeah, you gonna go lay down? I've been asked the question by quite a few people how Lexy has been since the loss of Misty, and yes, we do see a difference in her. Lexy has never been alone. Lexy was a rescued dog, and we got her. She was only 4 weeks old. So with Misty around, she was never ever alone. And we found that she's a little bit more sucky, if that makes any sense. You can tell she doesn't like being left alone. Like when it's time to leave to go to work, she's not happy. You know, so there is some differences since Misty is no longer with us. She's doing good. She's a good girl. She's doing good, but we can see some clear differences in her since Misty is no longer with us. I keep moving around, changing sides to dry off my pants. I got them almost dry there now. I'm doing good. Getting near the end of the day, but I've been by this fire for at least an hour, and I'm drying up nicely. Well, let's talk screw-ups, shall we? This is excellent bottle. I love this thing. It's from the Pathfinder school. It's the bottle, the cup. It comes in a complete kit. So here I am. I'm looking at my firewood pile. I'm thinking, you know what? For what it's worth, I'm gonna go do a little bit more firewood. So I put on my snowshoes, I go do some firewood, and I guess while I was out there sawing some dead stuff My bottle was near the fire, and it looks like the snow had melted. The bottle falls over. Half the water came out, but that's the problem is the lid. I had the lid on here, and the lid is made out of plastic, and I melted and burnt the lid right off my bottle. Yeah, that sucks, a big one. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to buy a new lid. Hopefully I can buy a new lid. I can't see why they wouldn't sell the lid just separate. I don't know. We'll see. I won't know until I get home and go on the internet and go on their website and check, see if I can buy just the lid. You can see the burning here where the lid burnt off. And also I was planning to heat up some water and stick it in my sleeping bag tonight as an extra source of heat, so that's out of the question now. Not a big deal for that. I'm more upset that lost the lid to my bottle. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I'm just checking the weather with my satellite communicator. I got my weather, and 1 degree right now. It's beautiful, but overnight it's gonna get cold. So at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning is gonna be -15. I'm gonna be out of here by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. 5 a.m. -12, 2 a.m. -8. That's all Celsius. So yeah, it's gonna get cold. I'm gonna have to bundle up. We'll see how things are. I should be okay. -15. That's getting a little bit fresh for cold camping. That's getting a little bit cold for me, anyways. Maybe not for somebody else. Right now, I'm enjoying the weather. It's nice. The fire. I've been keeping the fire going, and it is 12 after 5. So you know what? I think I'm gonna break out supper and get that on the go. It's no mystery. I'm that guy that likes to cook over an open campfire, but you know what? Sometimes I don't feel like it, and I came out here today without the anticipation of cooking over a campfire. Campfire was to be to stay warm and to just enjoy the campfire. So that means for supper tonight I have one of these guys, and this is Happy Yak braised pork with white wine mushroom sauce. Man, does that ever sound good, right? I've never had it. Never had it, so I'm gonna try it out for the first time here. Let's see here. Combine cold water and the content of bag. What? Mix well, bring to a boil, stirring constantly, reduce heat and simmer 2 to 4 minutes, stirring occasionally. Cover, remove from heat, let stand 12 to 15 minutes. See, I thought I had to do like a Mountain House meal and pour the water in the bag, which I think that's what I'm going to do actually. I guess my pot is probably big enough. That's all I got for a cooking pot is my Pathfinder mug. So what I'm going to do is take a look inside, see if the bag is a bag that holds water. Because as far as I know, this here you can pour water right in. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm going to pour water right in there. Oh yeah. Bow tie pasta is what's in here. Look at big chunks of dehydrated mushrooms. Doesn't have a whole lot of smell to it. Okay, well, let's get that water boiling. Wah! I hate that smoke. I can hear my water boiling. Pour that in here. If it doesn't rehydrate properly, I'll just transfer it into the cup and put it back over the fire. Because the instructions don't tell you to do it like this. I'm just doing it like this. And then I got a cozy. Close that up. And let that sit for 15 minutes. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. Let's see how it looks. See if I have to throw it in the pot or not. Oh man, that's hot. Homemade cozy. Works good. Let's get a piece of pasta out. The pasta always gives it away. No. Nowhere near. Nowhere near it ready. This is like some people are ruining their pasta and they'll say, oh, it's al dente. This is not al dente. This is not ready. Okay, so I'm gonna have to I'm gonna dump it in my pot, throw it over the fire, and finish it off in there. Earlier I thought my little bush pot wouldn't be big enough, but it's plenty big enough. Alright, I can't wait no more. Let's try out the Happy Yak. Yeah, so far it's alright. A little bit bland. I'd like to see, I would have liked to see a little bit more seasoning. The mushroom sauce thickened up alright. I left it on there and I boiled it down, so it's good. The mushrooms are still, the pasta's perfect actually right now. The pasta's cooked perfectly. The mushrooms, for some reason, they seem a little bit chewy. Overall, it's pretty good. If I was to rate this like 1 out of 10, 10 being the best, I'd say probably a 7. It could use a little bit more seasoning. It's good. I would eat it again, no problem. The problem I have is the price. This thing was approximately $15. That's expensive. I thought it was like a mountain house or the tarmac where you just pour water in the bag, let it rehydrate, but it's not. You actually have to cook it. If I'm going to cook it, right, you're removing a step there. The ones that you just pour water and you let it rehydrate, you can expect to pay a little bit more money because you're eliminating a step, which is the cooking process. If I have to cook it, I can buy a Knorr Sidekick pasta, and I can buy a small tin of flaked tuna or ham to make a protein to add with the Knorr Sidekick and save myself a pile of money. So because of the cooking aspect of it, I don't think it's worth the money. If I have to cook it, I can go to the grocery store and buy pasta at the grocery store and cook it. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to finish eating and spend a little bit more time by my fire and retire to my tent. Watch something. I downloaded a program on my phone, so I'm going to watch that or play a game or something. I'll show you how I'm rigged up in the tent when I get in there and I get settled in. I'm all tucked in. I'm actually sleeping with my head at the opposite end of the tent. This is the small end. It's just the way I wanted to scooch in here. It's a little bit difficult in the winter. You want to take your boots off outside, but it's pretty hard because everything's covered in snow. And obviously you don't want to drag snow in. Bringing snow in the tent means you got a wet tent. But we managed. There's Lexy. She's all bundled up. She's sleeping inside my winter jacket. There's some snacks. And I got my phone. I'm going to watch a movie. And tomorrow morning, it's going to be cold. So, we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens throughout the night. It'll be interesting to see what the condensation is going to be like in here. It's a little bit of a test night for me. I've never used this tent in these temperatures. So, I'm a little bit curious to see how it's going to work out. So far, it's actually warm enough in here. I can see my breath a little bit. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. But I'm quite warm. Quite warm. And and the other thing, I'm sleeping with some of my gear. The liners out of my boots, and I tucked them inside my sleeping bag. They're at my feet, so that way there tomorrow morning when I get up, or whenever I get up, my boots are not going to be freezing cold. They're still going to be, my insoles of my boots are going to be nice and warm. All right, I'm signing off. I'll see you in the morning. Hi, Lexy. Oh, all my batteries are frozen. Cameras are shutting down. Okay, this is take 3. We'll see if the camera stays on long enough to talk for a second here. She's froze. All my batteries are frozen. Cameras won't stay on. Everything's froze. It's minus 15 is what the forecast was. I don't have a thermometer, but it certainly is minus 15 or colder. I got the fire going. I'm standing right by the fire. Right there. I'm trying to thaw my boots actually right now, because my boots are frozen and I can't lace them up because they're too frozen. But we slept good, woke up a lot, you know, on hard ground, so it's not the most comfortable. But right now I'm gonna get some heat going and a coffee. Have to have a coffee, get some hot fluids in me, get warmed up. Well, I managed to get one battery thawed, the one that's in there now, and it's still flashing red. I'm not going to pack up nice and tight. I'm just going to grab that tent. I'm going to shove it in this pack as tight as I can. I have to open that up when I get home. It's completely iced up on the inside. I was expecting that. Moisture, just my breath, Lexy's breath, creates moisture, and I'm glad it's just an overnight, because if I was here for a few days, I'd be in a little bit of trouble. I think gear would be getting wet, and wet gear in the winter is a disaster. So I'm gonna just tear that down right quick, shove it in there, get the hell out of here. But I have a coffee to go. Man, I can't wait to do this. Oh yeah, extra strong, the way I like it.